Hello everyone and welcome to the Hisui podcast. I'm Wolf Tycho and I'm here with King Raid 5 and Nurse Ethy.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Tom is not with us today because he is probably still asleep because we're recording a little bit earlier than usual.
He could join later if he wants to / has the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for right now, it's just us three. And probably the main thing we'll talk about, at least for a little bit, is because in exactly a week now, it'll be Pokemon Day, which is when the Pokemon Presents happens. And so I guess we can talk about just what we think will happen in it. And yeah,
We
just our
definitely
general
can.
predictions.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Pokemon Day, not just because it's Pokemon Day, but because I'll be off work. This will be my first time that I've had Pokemon Day off in I don't even remember how many years. I'm always working whenever Pokemon Day happens, just about. So I'm just like, well, I guess I'll enjoy Pokemon at work, I guess. This might be my first this is the first Pokemon Presents that I'll get to watch while I'm not at work. For a while, it's been a long time since I've watched a Pokemon Presents from the comfort of my own home.
That's nice.
Maybe I can be one of those guys that does the really cringy reaction face thumbnails and then watches the premiere.
Yeah, you could co-stream the premiere. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I could be one of those guys. One of the cool kids.
Yeah, cool, definitely.
At age 30.
But, I mean, for predictions, I mean, we're obviously gonna have the usual section talking about Pokemon Go, talking about Pokemon Cafe Remix, because that's still a thing, apparently. Pokemon
Somehow.
Masters.
Pokemon Sleep,
Yeah.
I think, will probably get a little bit larger
Yeah,
of a
Sleep.
part.
I don't think they'll talk about Sleep.
Really? Has Pokemon
Not
Sleep
because it's
come
dead,
out?
there's just not gonna be anything new to talk about with it.
Well, hasn't... I haven't paid attention to Pokemon Sleep because I don't need a video game to help me sleep. But, isn't that game only out in a few countries right now?
It's been out for a year, so I think it's out everywhere now.
Oh,
Yeah, I think so.
okay, so I'm just
So
dumb
yeah.
Okay.
They're definitely gonna talk about Pokemon Unite and a new Pokemon showing up there. Other than that, I am gonna guess that they will announce a new game to add in that kind of lineup, because I feel like it's been a while since we've had a new one.
They always
Yeah.
have.
I mean,
some
we
sort
did
of...
get TCG Pocket not too long ago.
Oh, they're
so-
definitely gonna talk about that too.
Oh, they are very much. There's going to be, I think, a large percentage of that, being used for the TCG game, because I think the TCG game has had kind of a similar effect to Pokemon Go, a lesser effect. Not like it's not like everybody and their mom is playing the TCG game, but it's gotten people that I know who are not super into Pokemon because people love spending money. This I don't want to be that guy, but it is another form of gambling, kind of, because you're just kind of rolling the dice on getting a good card, which is people find that exciting. And I think a lot of people have downloaded the game. A lot of people have gotten into the TCG battles too, which is really cool. And I think that player base is probably pretty high. So I would not be surprised if they talk about that for a good while as well.
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing more people realize that, oh, it's not just a pack opening simulator. Because I actually was I was playing. I picked up an extra shift before I died. and I was like, it was just time for me to open my pack for the 12 hours, and one of my coworkers on the new unit I was on saw that I was playing it, and he's like, "Oh, you play that game? Isn't it just a pack opening simulator?" I'm like, "No, you can still, I mean, mostly, but you can still use the cards to battle other people and stuff." He's like, "What?" I uninstalled it because I thought it was just a pack opening simulator. So,
All right.
hopefully, more people will know that.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll talk about it as a battles TCG sim as well.
Yeah. I hope so, honestly, because I feel like a lot of the, like, generally, a lot of the hype around Pokemon cards, TCG, and stuff like that is specifically pack openings. It doesn't really have a lot to do with, like, the battle, the combat in it. Like, I, for one, am not a fan of card games, so that's not my thing, but I know that, like, people should be more into it. Like, if you're into collecting the cards, there's no reason why you can't be, like, into the actual, like, combat. Like, you have enough cards, just make a deck.
Yeah, and it's got an auto deck feature, so it'll make the deck for you if you don't know how to build a deck. Especially, like, some people are gonna know how to make a deck for the physical card game, but it's a whole different, not a whole different ball or a whole different card game, but it's very different because you technically have unlimited energies but are limited to only one energy in your pool per turn without certain items or trainer cards and stuff. So it's very different. It's like how I always like comparing it to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, how Duel Links is a very different experience compared to the regular Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG.
For other, like, I do have one, like, other... So all these are very safe bets, so for me it's not as fun to talk about. So I do have one wild card bet for what they're gonna talk about on Pokemon Day.
If you say Eevee, I'm going to scream.
Eevee?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I say Eevee?
2025 is being dubbed by the Pokemon Company the year of Eevee.
Yeah.
That would not be a wild card to bet then.
And people are like screaming and speculating, "Oh, we're gonna get a new evolution! We're gonna get a new evolution!" We haven't gotten another one since 2013. Calm down. There's a probable chance we're not. I'm pretty sure someone has said somewhere we're not going back to getting another Eevee.
Yeah, I would assume not as well.
Anyways, my actual wild card assumption is, do you guys remember the live-action Pokemon show that's being developed by Netflix?
That sounds vaguely familiar, actually.
I've never heard of this.
It's been in development for a while, and, I mean, it hasn't started filming. It may even be cancelled, but my wild card is they may talk about it. Mainly, like, I can see them announcing a cast.
With Chris Pratt
similar
as Ash
to, like,
Ketchum.
Yep. Well, I don't think it's about Ash. I'm pretty sure it's about Red.
Oh, well, Chris Pratt is Red?
Yeah.
Chris Pratt is Red. We don't have to listen to him talk. Oh.
Wait, but then what happens when they do the... What happens when they do the Super Smash Bros. Like, Marvel Cinematic Universe thing? Like, what happens then?
Oh, no.
He plays both Red and Mario.
I'm not ready for that kind of situation.
That would be so...
And he doesn't even change his voice for either character. Yeah, I can see that as, like, a wild card guess. I don't know, I was talking with the development team for Starfall yesterday about this, and we jokingly said a continuation of Pokemon XD.
I mean, like, that would be dope.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen, but...
No.
It's especially not gonna happen because they tried doing a fan-requested, like, sequel to a spin-off game from, like, years ago before with New Pokemon Snap, and I'm guessing it did not do nearly as well as they would hope in order to do more of games like that. Because for things to look lucrative in Pokemon's eyes, they basically need to be as popular as Pokemon Go. Or like TCG Pocket.
Yeah, I think...
I mean, look at them, like, going away from live-action movies just because the one they made only made $700 million. Oh no.
That's Nintendo.
That's not Nintendo. That's the Pokemon Company.
Pokemon had done a live-action movie before. Oh, Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
I'm dumb. Oh, I had the chance to watch Detective Pikachu on the plane, and then I passed it up for the Penguin because I've been needing to watch that series for a while. But anyways.
Fair.
Which I still think that's a wild thing that they chose to do. But no, instead we're gonna have a live-action Netflix show. Because that makes sense.
Yeah, because they have such a wonderful relationship with Netflix, and Netflix is definitely a company that we all love and trust and enjoy having complete control of anything that we're watching when it comes to Pokemon.
Oh, yes. So much.
Definitely. You know, they totally didn't mess up the release of Pokemon Concierge.
Nope.
Half of you guys probably don't even know what Pokemon Concierge is, or forgot about it until I mentioned it. Okay, more than half of you forgot about it before I mentioned it.
I'm gonna say I need to make sure I'm remembering correctly.
It's like they literally announced it one day, and I don't think they mentioned it at all, and then just released it one day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not
That
even
had me
sure I know
considering
entirely
getting
what
a
it's
Netflix
about.
again. I know something Psyduck, something Nurse Joy.
I'm pretty sure it has to do with a resort, but again, I don't know, because they didn't market it.
Which that something Nurse Joy is what had me interested enough to consider getting a Netflix subscription again.
With the help of Concierge Hano, Pokemon relax and have fun at the Pokemon Resort. So yeah, it is kind of about a resort. Oh, it's only 4 episodes, okay.
Yeah, it was just supposed to be a mini-series.
But again... Wait, further episodes were in production since when? Again, yes, Netflix are the people to trust with this.
Yep, totally.
Yep.
Totally not, you know, the studio who did Detective Pikachu, which people actually liked that movie. And it did well, especially for only coming out like a couple weeks after Infinity War. But no, it didn't make $1 billion, so it wasn't lucrative.
They should have gone with Danny DeVito and gotten him to be Pikachu. That's where they went wrong.
That shit would have been so fire.
It would have been funny, but it would not have made as much money.
Yeah, I know.
Especially because Ryan Reynolds made some really funny marketing videos for Detective Pikachu.
He did.
Like, I just watched one of them yesterday, and it's still funny.
Nice. Especially, I love how Danny DeVito was... Someone asked him about it in an interview, and he just said, "What the fuck is a Pokemon?" Or, "What the fuck is a Pikachu?"
Well, they apparently put Danny DeVito's, like, a voice to Detective Pikachu to see if it could work, along with some other actors.
And it did.
Well, but they were just like... And Ryan Reynolds works the best. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, that's one of my wild cards. They also brought up, like, maybe a new Pokemon Ranger game, and I'm like, eh.
See,
That's
I think
more
we're-
likely
No.
than an XD sequel,
No.
but I still don't.
XD sequel's more likely.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ranger
Fucking
required the touchpad,
Yeah.
and unless it's unless the Switch 2 does have as much what's it called? Like almost Wiimote level type stuff. I don't see how they could do it.
Hmm.
I also just think that I feel like I'm one of the few people that actually really like the Ranger series.
I
feel
love
like
the Ranger series.
I feel like not.
I feel like I know a
it,
lot of people who like it.
it doesn't get. I'm not out here saying it's like better than like a mystery dungeon or anything like that. But what I am saying is I feel like a lot of people that I know have given it shit, and I think it's pretty good. I like that was I don't know, that was a very fun game for me to play, and I think I don't know, my favorite thing to do in fan games is take themes from the Ranger games because they're so good. They're made for Pokemon, but people don't recognize them because they didn't play the games. But yeah, I just think generally people don't like that like game mode that much, so I don't think it's like XD Gale of Darkness. Those are like cult classics. Like everybody likes those. So I can see like those getting a remake, but Ranger?
Nah, I can't. I can't see XD getting a sequel or a remake, like, at all. Like, I see Ranger more so. Because I feel like Ranger fits more with what the Pokemon brand is trying to do now than XD.
That's true, but I don't
Because
think...
that's also a very important thing to, like, keep in consideration.
That is true, but I don't think they would... If they wanted to do something like that, it would be completely separate from Ranger, I think. I don't think they would use the Ranger brand, because in the grand scheme of things, when they are like, hey guys, do you remember this? It's coming back. They want it to be like it could have the same exact mechanics as Pokemon Ranger and just not be Pokemon Ranger. And that would probably do better than them saying, hey guys, this is a Pokemon Ranger sequel or remake or something like that.
That's true.
I think it'd be interesting to see like them get like Ilka for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, a spin-off. Who knows?
I don't know, I'd rather do whatever game studio than new Pokemon Snap. Who was that studio? Bandai Namco.
Oh, Bandai
Bandai
Namco just knows how to make
Namco.
good games.
Bandai
Yeah.
Namco did new Pokemon? Yeah, no. They were actually trying with
Honestly-
new Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, that's actually kind of surprising. Wait.
Yeah.
Bandai Namco they've got good games.
Oh, they also made Pokken. I don't think we're gonna need a new Pokken game. But
Don't tell
honestly,
For
Rocco.
God's sake, I hope
Don't
we
tell
do.
Ronco, don't tell Ronco.
but I do think Bandai Namco, like, we could get a new, because I do think we're gonna get an announcement of a new game of some shape or form, whether it be spin-off, mobile, or whatever. Like, last year we didn't, other than ZA. But, like, I do think we're gonna get 1 or 2 announcements this time. I could see a new Bandai Namco Pokemon game be announced.
That would be
I
exciting.
hope so.
That would be exciting. If they want to employ Bandai Namco in that kind of role of like, I don't know, like more experimental, I think that would be super cool. And Bandai Namco is one of the teams that could pull it off. I do think if you're gonna give a game to Bandai Namco, literally just don't give them any rules. Just say make a fun game, and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it'll be better than new Pokemon Snap. It'll be better than a mainline Pokemon game probably.
Probably.
Yeah,
Well,
that would be exciting.
Especially why I think we're gonna get some announcements is just today they officially announced the Pokemon Presents. I mean, we all knew it was gonna happen. But we got like the teaser thumbnail image of it, and it looks very interesting to me, mainly because the background is filled with like hot air balloons and just balloons kind of in general.
Oh my god. They're gonna make
That's the imagery they've been using for Year of Eevee.
They're gonna introduce a sky battle simulator from X and Y.
Oh. Okay, that would actually be kind of fun. Because sky battles
gonna be part of
were supposed to
Legends
be
EA.
something, and they were nothing.
They were very clearly scrapped.
Yep.
But the mechanic was still in the game, so they're like, push it. Ship it.
But I know like Pokemon Works is apparently a thing, so it can either be a Bandai Namco game that gets announced or a Pokemon Works game.
What has Pokemon Works made?
Yeah, that's...
Pokemon Works is basically just Ilka at the moment. It's, located in the same building as Ilka. It's basically like a subsection where they worry about just Pokemon stuff.
March 4th, 2024. And they made Pokemon
The
Sleep.
Pokemon Works only... Yeah, they only made Sleep.
I
mean, I'm always gonna say I want more stuff from Genius Sonority just because I want more of their music. I know I could just be playing more Cafe Remix, but I don't care for Cafe Remix.
No one does.
I still want more. I just want more of their music. I'm okay if they just release a soundtrack and they're just like, we made music. Here you go.
And I have another wild guess for this presents. I think they're gonna mention ZA.
Oh.
They could
No.
maybe
Really?
talk about it.
I think they're going to completely skip anything about ZA, and they're just like, they're not even going to give us a day until like a week before it shows up in the store, and they're just going to say, here you go.
They're gonna shadow drop ZA on Pokemon Presents Day.
No.
God,
No,
if they do that, I will die. Like, I will call my rigor and die.
Yeah. And I know
No.
we've talked about this before, but I still do really think it's coming out in November.
We'll see.
As long as it comes out sometime after June, I'm okay.
Like, I can't see them doing a whole marketing push in only 4 months.
I think... So here's what I think that we're gonna get from ZA. Because, it's really variable. You could actually... they're going to mention it. Because Pokemon, they would get crucified if they didn't mention it. However, maybe they don't want to push a ton of information right now. And that's okay. Then they'll just, I don't know, have another trailer, like a really short trailer. Or we could get the full, first trailer, experience where there's gameplay, you see the starters, and you get a release date.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be a similar trailer to, the first one of Arceus, is what I'm anticipating.
Yeah. So, if I were betting on something, I would bet on, at the very least, a release date. Because Pokemon loves to announce things way too early. And the fact that they haven't announced a release date yet is actually so smart of them, but also insane because the Pokemon fan base.
Yeah.
But I'm super happy for them, and I do hope they take all the time in the world But you can't do this entire Pokemon Presents without a I mean,
Addressing
I
it,
would
yeah.
argue you can't do the Pokemon Presents on Pokemon Day without a trailer for ZA, but I
But
think at the very
they'd
least
find a way.
you need to mention ZA.
Oh,
Or if then they
mentioning
need to
it.
announce like Gen 10 or some shit. Like
they're not.
they're definitely not. I swear to God if they do. Like Pokemon has slowly gotten my good graces by saying nothing about ZA throughout the entirety of 2024. They would throw that all away if they announced Gen 10 on
Yep.
on Pokemon Day.
Yep. I 100% agree. Like, honestly, like, after ZA, I don't know if I'm gonna play another Pokemon game. Mainly because it's been slowly, like, losing me as time has gone on, and the only reason why I'm playing ZA is because of colorless nostalgia. And so that's why, like, if they fuck it up, I'm gonna be forever mad at them.
Yeah, I went through a little bit of a phase in like high school when I was like, yeah, you know what? I like just Pokemon has lost interest for me as a whole. And I was like, I mean, like obviously here I am on a fucking Pokemon fan game podcast. So, that got turned around, and how it got turned around, I actually don't know because Sword and Shield ass, Scarlet and Violet slightly less ass.
You think Scarlet and Violet is better than Sword and Shield?
Yes. Is that a hot take?
I think-
I wouldn't think so.
I think the gameplay, it's better, but everything else is worse.
You think the story of Sword and Shield is better than the story of Scarlet and Violet?
I don't like either story.
Well, yeah, they're both bad, but one is definitely better than the other.
I guess. But that's still not saying much to the point that I'm like, oh yeah, Scarlet and Violet is better, especially because Scarlet and Violet is worse in so many aspects.
Yeah. Well, my point being,
I mean,
I'm calling
still
both games
one of them-
ass.
one of the best-selling games
Yeah.
since Red and Blue, so
It's still
It's
the
something,
worst thing
right?
they've released. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is worse. It's one of the worst. Well, Game Freak didn't make it though. It's the worst Pokemon mainline game that Game Freak has released, in my opinion.
I'll still call the Isle of Armor the worst piece of content that has ever been in a main Pokemon game.
Fair.
But
yeah.
my point being is I'm calling both Gen 8 and Gen 9 ass.
Yeah.
To varying degrees of ass, let's say. And like we've gotten Legends Arceus, but that didn't really get me back into Pokemon. If I'm being completely honest, what got me back into Pokemon was like graduating high school and having time in college to play more Pokemon and playing Pokemon fan games and old Pokemon. So
Yeah, that's what did it for me.
Yeah, but they slowly built up some goodwill within me because they're actually waiting to announce stuff and hopefully not rushing their developers. I hope not.
We can all hope.
We can
Yeah.
all hope.
Or maybe they're just spending this whole year just to make one tree look good, and then they focus on nothing else. Like, that's the
Yeah,
only
can you be
feedback they listen to.
like do you
There's
think
gonna be one really good tree.
do you think they took all this time to just like try and optimize the engine as much as they could and they don't actually have any content yet?
I don't know.
I don't know how
I do think it will look better than Scarlet and Violet, mainly because it only takes place in Lumio City, which means they won't have to worry about, even if it was a rush development, like, having to make a whole, basically, region, and trying to
Yeah.
make the whole region look interesting. Like, even though, yes, it will be a big city, in my mind, I still see that as not as much of a daunting task compared to designing a whole open world region in, like, a year or two.
Yeah. Like, there's still gonna be challenges ahead that I say ahead, Like they haven't been working on it for years, but there's still going to be big challenges to it, but hopefully since the scope is going to be a lot smaller, there's going to be opportunities for more polish.
And also, it's like, I don't think Legends ZA is gonna be about the Pokemon War, mainly. And that's the thing that, like, I feel about Legends games, is like, everyone wants Legends games to talk about parts of the Pokemon lore that they've already kind of, like, talked about, and just, like, exploring that out. But for me, at least, on a writing basis, and from what I've seen them choose to do with Legends games now, I don't think they want to write about stories that have already kind of been established.
Yeah, I mean,
I get that.
They expanded on the myth of what Arceus is.
Yeah, but they still, like, made a whole story of basically out of nothing in the past of Sinnoh.
Yeah, because, like, in these regions and previous games and stuff, you can... And this isn't a remake, right? This is like a sequel, a prequel, an additional content. And with that, in your previous games, you could have written yourself into a corner. And because of that, it's a lot easier to take a much fresher look and kind of write your own story from scratch instead of trying to have to go off of all these rules and boundaries that you set for yourself in previous.
Yeah. That's why I think, like, we're never gonna get a Legends Johto about, like, the origin of the three beasts. I don't think we're ever getting that.
But but I also think at the same time, for Kalos, there is very obviously a lot of cut content from X and Y, and I think there are, like, very obvious answers that need to be answered. And I think Pokemon has those answers that they just didn't have enough time to put into the game. So, does Legends ZA pick that up? They could. Or maybe they were like, what we wrote, horrible. I don't want to touch this, and just write something completely new.
I could see that. That's what I think is more likely. And also, like, what I was saying, that's not, like, delegitimizing, like, if you want to make a Pokemon fan game, that's a Legends game about, like, the origin of the beast in Johto, or the Pokemon War. I just don't see Pokemon making a game like that.
No.
Just because, I mean, that story's kind of already been written. Why would you want to rewrite it?
Yeah.
And so I know a lot of...
It would be cool to explore it, I guess, but it's a story we've already been told about, and we might not have been intended to be there for it.
Yeah. Like, I know a lot of people were disappointed when learning that, like, the Legends Kalos game wouldn't be about the Pokemon War, because they're like, come on, that's the easiest. I'm like, exactly, that's the easiest thing to do and all. Why the hell would that be interesting to do? Like, creatively.
When has the Pokemon Company actually gone for the easiest something for them to do?
A lot of times.
Narratively.
I mean, their narratives are all kind of similar to each other. So you couldn't make that argument.
I mean, they did cop out the story of Scarlet and Violet at the very...
They also had one of the worst writing I've ever seen in Legends Arceus, like, dialogue-wise.
So true. So true. Like, actually insanely. Well, I've been of the opinion that whoever writes for Pokemon just doesn't actually know how to write dialogue. And I think it's been an issue for a long time. It's been
either that or whoever's
Black and White.
translating it to English is, like, fucking up the translation really bad.
Yeah.
Either or. I don't know which is worse.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say about that one.
Because, like, me and my sibling, who my sibling has grown up with, like, a hatred of Pokemon, he has eased up on it now, and now is more just sad about the state of it.
Damn.
But we played Legends Arceus and we enjoyed the gameplay, but what made us drop it was the writing. Because the writing was just hilariously bad.
I genuinely wish I could remember anything much of anything when it comes to Legends Arceus, just because, like...
Exactly.
Legends Arceus is...
It was also, for, like, personal reasons, it just came at a time where I see that trauma causes memory loss.
Yeah.
And that came out during a time where life wasn't that great, so...
Gotcha.
But that also means it must not have been that whelming of a game for me. Like, I can still tell you everything about Final Fantasy XIV, and I was playing that at the same time as, like, I played that before and after Legends Arceus, and I can still remember a whole lot more of that than I can Arceus.
Yeah.
Now that
I
say
think
that.
Yeah, I think it's not like... I think in terms of, like, okay, let's look at the three... There's 3 Switch games, right? Like, if you talk about Sword and Shield, Arceus, and Scarlet
Well, there's
Violet.
also Let's Go.
I don't count Let's Go.
I count Let's Go.
Okay. Well,
I mean, we did get new.
my point.
Did get new Pokemon introduced in that game.
My point still stands. If we include Let's Go, that Legends Arceus probably does have the strongest storyline out of those 4 games. However, it's still not good.
I'd argue Scarlet and Violet is still better than Legends Arceus.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's close.
Or, like, I would say Let's Go, but I mean, it's just the Kanto story again. But,
No,
I mean, it is still the best.
No.
No? No?
But I, like, my main point, I guess, is more so, Legends Arceus is a game you remember for the gameplay, not for the story. It was so different.
Well, okay, Let's Go, I don't think has the best story. I think it has the best dialogue. I'll put it that way.
I actually have never played Let's Go. So.
Wow.
I couldn't tell you based on the dialogue. Absolutely not. I'm not playing a 10th different version of Kanto. I already play fan games.
That's fair. I enjoy Let's Go. It's easily the best looking Switch game. Like, not even close.
Yeah. Well, the quality of how the Switch games have looked from Pokemon have literally gone down over time.
Oh, easily. I mean, there's a reason why people tried for a little bit to mimic the look of Let's Go games into Unity and make fan games off of that, and not Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've seen anyone trying to go, oh, let's make a fan game that looks like Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah,
Who the hell would want that?
Art style just didn't... It was there. It happened.
I don't think they were able to...
I'm not going to call it atrocious. I'm not going to call Scarlet and Violet's visually atrocious. When it comes to the art style.
Well...
The art style itself.
Yeah.
Not... Like, gameplay with all the visual nonsense, yeah, absolutely, but...
I don't think they were able to execute the art style they wanted entirely. Which is why I can't really judge the art style, because I can't really see it. The only way I can see it is, like, the Pokemon and character models, but, like, the landscape, I have to believe that's not what they intended it to look like.
For
Where,
Legends?
like, Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, never mind.
Especially, like, if you look at Let's Go. Like, Let's Go is, like, the environments look so lively and, like... Not realistic, but it looks good to look at. It looks
It's
pleasing to the eye.
stylized. It's very well
Yeah.
stylized, I would say.
Like, I think Pokemon should just try to go more the stylized route versus the realistic route, because I think that's what
Yes.
they're better at, and it's easier to
Stylized-
do in a slow,
Stylized
time
is-
frame.
Always better unless you have the budget of a AAA studio. And even then, it's not always
They
better.
do.
I mean, they have the budget, they just
Literally-
don't have the time.
Literally literally the first or second highest grossing media franchise ever.
It's the first.
First? Okay, I forgot.
Yeah.
I know I just looked this up a couple of days ago and I've forgotten.
Yeah. It's wild, the things they let pass by. Well, it's because the video games aren't their main source of revenue.
No.
No.
But, you know, they may be turning around with ZA. I don't think they're gonna turn around for long. I think ZA may be like a one and done and then we go back into the slot machine.
We'll see. I'm willing to give
Um,
them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
We'll see, yeah. But,
I've
Like, if
enjoyed
they-
this franchise enough for the past 30 years. I'll keep enjoying them, I guess.
it's like, I'm gonna be giving ZA a shot, and then past that, they're gonna have to win me over. And I don't have high hopes.
You don't have high hopes for something you haven't even seen yet.
Yep. Well, just based off a track record. And, like, the people making
Then
decisions.
why? Okay, then why are you wasting your time with the next one? Why wasn't Scarlet and Violet enough?
Well, ZA, it's because I'm nostalgic about Kalos.
Okay.
Like, if it wasn't a Kalos game, I probably would not play ZA.
I can't believe I'm talking to a 17-year-old that's getting nostalgia baited for Kalos.
I know. It's actually crazy. I feel like I need to like apologize that you have nostalgia for Kalos.
Yeah. For like every reason under the sun.
Yeah.
It's stylistically the best looking region.
I hard disagree.
Go
Okay,
off,
what do you
EP.
think-
Go off, EP.
What region
okay,
looks the best stylistically then?
Like, what is... I want to know what's going on with those Colossian heads in those 3D models. I really want to know what's going on. Well, the proportions, like, even if you say, oh, well, it's a chibi style, kind of like how others are. No, what is going on there? There's something else. But
Well, I'm talking...
like, of course I'm gonna look at like Gens 4 and like Gens 3 and 4 as my personal favorites when it comes to what they look like. And while no, they didn't have anywhere near as much when it comes to customization, when it comes to like being able to look a certain way, they had to make a lot of differences. I like genuinely, I might even say Alola had my favorite graphical style. Especially
Well-
when you look at the playable characters and the characters you interact with. I would
I'm
dare
not
say
talking...
Alola.
I'm not talking about the generational, like, graphic style. I'm talking about, like, the visuals and landscapes of the region.
Oh, if for visuals and landscapes,
Yeah.
still tempted to say Alola, but I still
I'm tempted
really
to
like
say Alola, Hoenn.
Oras,
yeah.
Oras, Hoenn.
That's my thing. Like anything that X and Y did, Oras did better.
Mm-hmm. Like, do I still have a lot of problems when it comes to like the design for the characters of Hoenn, the way that they kept a lot of the X and Y style? Yeah.
Wow.
But Hoenn has I like Hoenn and Oras more, or I would still argue Alola.
Like, just the look of the Kalos region, it just appeals to me the most out of all of them. Alola, like, landscape and just, like, stylistically wise is fine, but because, partially, too, it's like, my memories of Alola and Kalos are mostly connected to the anime, and how they presented the regions.
Yeah, then that's a completely
And-
different conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, that... Because of how much more time the anime took up in my head than the video game, just because the anime is longer, like, that's what I more closely relate to it in my head than the video game.
Mm-hmm.
And so, while the video game didn't execute exactly what they were trying to go with Kalos, I was able to more understand it in the anime, so that I could connect the dots while playing the video game. And that's why I have, like, such a fondness for Kalos, because the X and Y anime was amazing. And I really did not like the Sun and Moon anime, and how they presented Alola. And, like, a lot of my friends felt the same way growing up, when it came from the transition between Kalos and Alola.
I mean, it's definitely jarring to see the jump that they made in art style.
Mm-hmm. And just tone.
But when it's been 20 years of the exact same thing, for my old bones, it was kind of nice to get something kind of different. Finally, it's not just the same boring. Ash and his pals are making their way toward Ula Ula City, and they've run into something else crawling in the forest.
I guess, but as, like, the second... Well, I technically watched Black and White, but I have no memories of Black and White. Even though it was technically the first anime I watched.
Ash and friends are on their way to Nakarine City, and they're about to discover what the true meaning of friendship truly is. There you
But,
go.
like-
You summarized a good chunk of it right there.
Yeah.
Because
But, like-
the first 6 generations of the anime were Ash and friends are doing a thing, and they're walking towards the next destination on foot, and it's going to be the same way.
Same formula. Every time.
Same formula.
I guess, but since, like, I was still new to it, it just felt...
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
well, no,
it
because the
works when
thing
you're a
is, it's...
kid.
And also, like, even though they, like, tried to go against the formula and make things different, I don't think I would have minded as much, but it felt like they took away from what was special about it in the ground level and didn't understand that. Like, you can reiterate and change it, but it felt like they didn't understand what worked about it to begin with, and were just changing it to change it. If that makes sense.
To an extent, yes. I think that is a lot of what they were going for, especially with Alola. Because 20th anniversary, let's do something different. Let's mess with the formula a little bit. Which has me kind of hopeful for what that means as this being their 29th anniversary.
I don't think they're gonna be doing much for the 29th. I think
No,
it'd be the
but
30th.
they're planning, like, stuff's in development for the 30th anniversary. That's
Yeah.
not gonna be a surprise. So whatever's coming for Gen 10, whatever, like, even some of what we've got going on with ZA is probably going to have at least, like, we're gonna start seeing the pieces of what they're gonna try and do for 30 years.
Wait, next year is the 30th year?
Next year's the 30th year.
What the hell?
Yeah, I'm only like 9 months older than Pokemon.
You're older than Pokemon? Kidding.
Yet, believe it or not, there were 9 months of my life where Pokemon, no one knew what a Pikachu was.
Such lucky times to be alive.
It had its perks and it had some perks. It had some not perks.
Yeah. Anyways, I feel like every episode we somehow get brought into talking about the anime.
I would say these past 2 episodes, I feel like I've had nothing to contribute because I've just not watched the anime.
Like, are we gonna have to transition into talking about like just being a Pokemon anime podcast? Like, what's going on
You
here?
better find a different host then. 'Cause I cannot contribute.
Yeah.
Been watching this freaking anime for 30 years. Tired of it.
I mean, they're doing stuff different in Pokemon Horizons.
Yeah, I have to actually watch it, and I hate... I
But-
always feel guilty pirating anime.
But you kind of have to with Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, they don't really give you a
Netflix.
choice.
Yeah, Netflix, I can't, in good faith, do any kind of dealings with Netflix.
Since we are a fan game podcast, though, we do, there was,
have We do need to do our contractual obligations to talk about fan games.
unfortunately, there is a fan game that was released on EV Expo on Tuesday, called Pokemon Secrets of the Ages. Is it out? I know a thread was
Is it?
posted.
No,
it's just a
I
thread.
don't know if it's out because that is Sauce's game, correct?
That sounds familiar.
There was,
Sauce's game.
yeah, it was. Well, wait, was it? No, wait.
Oh, Sauce is in it, yeah.
Yeah. So this had a trailer in the first ever EV Expo in 2022. If you guys
Wow.
remember that, this game
do,
is
yeah.
going to be amazing. Let me tell you. It looks really, really cool, and I can't wait to see more of it.
It's interesting that there's a thread randomly now then, if it
Yeah,
was talked about
that
last all the way in
is why
2022.
I am a little confused about it. However, I don't know, they say demo early 2026.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. But I'm very interested about the premise. It's the Roaring 20s. Pokemon the Roaring 20s, and that looks super interesting.
Definitely not
to me.
these 20s we're going through now.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, these 20s are not roaring.
No.
Not at all.
More of a whimper right now.
Yeah. But I'm super interested for this. And I can't wait to see more. But as of right now, we don't have much to go off of.
No.
But I would give this the Cade stamp.
Hmm?
The Cade stamp of approval. Of a game to keep your eye out. Sorry, my drawer just like forced its way open. I literally have to tape my drawer shut. Otherwise it just like falls open because this house is built at an angle. So I put my garbage in front of it to like keep it from opening too, but it actually opened and knocked my garbage over.
I see.
I feel like I should have questions, but I don't. I'm not going to ask any questions.
What questions do you have?
I don't know. That's like
exactly. I don't.
like you've answered the questions, but I feel like I should have more questions.
Yes, this house was built at an angle. It's pretty old.
Oh, I don't know how much I should talk about, but I'll talk a little bit, I guess, on progress of fan game projects I'm in. Mainly I can talk about one more than the other because I'm the lead of that one and I know what I can talk about. But yeah, with Starfall, I have officially started running dialogue.
We love
Nice.
dialogue.
So progress is moving with that game and is still alive. As for the other project, things are happening. Technically, I'm rewriting the first part of the, like, act, but also, it's not, like, anything to worry about, because I know I talked about I was redoing it earlier, but this is, like, me, like, finalized redoing it. This isn't me redoing it again. It's not gonna be, like, a perpetual cycle of just redoing the first part of the game, because nothing will happen if I do that.
And then he rewrote it a third time. A fifth time.
Yeah, no, Ethy, if I do that, I want you to personally step in and just tell me no.
I'll personally rewrite the entire game and tell you, well, this isn't going to be it because you've rewritten it 12 times. You've lost your vision.
Fair enough. I guess unless we got anything, like, else Pokemon related, we can just
I will mention
move
one
into
thing.
talking. Oh,
Atlas, Pokemon Atlas, the other Spanish fan game. I was talking about Atlas and Barilo. These games love getting delayed. Atlas got delayed again. We don't have a date for it anymore. It was supposed to come out on Friday, tomorrow, but we don't have. Atlas does have a playable version in English though, but 2.5, which is the upcoming version, has been delayed again. So kind of unfortunate, but let the developers cook. Let them take their time. They've got lives, I'm sure.
yeah.
Presumably.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
That's the only Pokemon related thing I know though, or that
Okay.
I can talk about.
Yeah, I've just been trying to survive, so I haven't been able to keep up with any progress anyone's been putting out there.
Yeah, I guess we can just, like, switch into talking about, like, real life stuff. I haven't been to school since last Tuesday.
It's been that cold.
Yep.
Damn.
That's actually insane. I want you to know, I wasn't. We'll get to this in my update, but it was literally like negative 20 degrees, and my office didn't close.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's wild. Yeah, thank God they closed off school for me. Well, Friday we were gonna have off anyways, because I think parent-teacher conferences, and then Monday was President's Day.
Oh yeah.
So it was only Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday that were, like, off for cold reasons. Which is still a lot.
Still a lot.
Though, my mom is a teacher, and her school didn't get called off today, so she had to go to school and I got to stay home.
Damn. But it's interesting that you don't go to the same school your mom teaches at.
Well, she teaches a middle school.
Oh.
So it'd be weird if I went to a middle school.
Yeah, that would be weird at age 17.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I've heard of it. Okay, I'm from the days before No Child Left Behind, so I've heard stories of it. Where sometimes people are just that stupid, can't pass middle school.
Huh. But yeah, that's basically about it. I've been just, keeping alive, working on projects, replacing an old project with a new project, you know how it is. Nothing too much to note on. I don't think I've been playing any games. But yeah, that's basically it for me.
How do you not know if you've not been playing? How do you know if you've...
You're okay.
Apparently not.
Okay.
How do you not know if you have or have not been... how do you not know if you have or have not been playing games? I think that's a straightforward question.
It is, well, because the thing is, like, if I did play any games since last week, I don't remember playing them.
So then you didn't.
Yeah, it sounds
Probably
like
not. And if I did, then it wasn't memorable enough to remember right now.
Damn.
So, take that, whatever game I played, if I played it. Yeah.
Ethy, I know you've got updates.
I do have updates. I've got health updates. Your boy finally got his staples removed.
Yay!
When I had my surgery, they put 12 staples in, and yesterday they pulled all 12 staples out, and I got to go to physical therapy today.
Nice.
So we got to see the extent of the problems going on with me and how much work it's going to take to get me fixed up. And my poor physical therapist was just kind of shocked with what all was wrong with me. So, because it is like it is a nerve problem. It is a problem with my nerves. So we're having to rework nerve problems. Like reworking a muscle problem, okay, that's easy. Like, yeah, physical therapy can take care of that, no problem. You know how I know how to train a muscle. That's not a problem. Retraining a nerve is like almost retraining your brain. And it's not fun. She gave me a simple task. Okay, here's a bunch of marbles. Pick them up using your toes. And then put them on the other side of this towel. I couldn't. And it was so demoralizing that I can't even like curl my toes to pick up a marble. So that was some psychological damage right there.
That's how the first day of physical therapy always goes, though. You're like so shocked that you like can't do this like one thing that like you should very obviously be able to do.
Yeah.
But what you need to realize is there's only uphill, or you can only go up.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm feeling a whole lot better. I don't know if I'm gonna be streaming this week. By the time this goes out, we'll know if I ended up streaming the day this was recorded or not. We'll see. Like, I feel like I could, but I don't know if I should.
Ah, gotcha.
I get that feeling.
So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a mood. I haven't streamed in a week.
I haven't streamed in over a month. Like, I looked at when my last stream was, and it said January, like, 20-something. No, not even 20-something. Hold on. I'm pulling it up. 46 days. January 4th, my bad.
I mean, hey, without that last stream I
January 20th
did,
was
though,
the
it
last
was
time
like...
I looked.
Before that last stream I did, I hadn't streamed in like half a year? Over half a year?
Yeah, but you were...
Close to a year?
I feel like it's a slightly different situation, because you've also been having to deal with being a student.
Yes, the full-time job that is student.
Yes.
It's literally more than a full-time job because you're at school and
It-
you have to do homework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, being a full-time student and working as much as I used to work, and then occasional, like, even before I was streaming, just being a full-time student and working as much as I was, no, that genuinely messed up my brain.
Yeah, that's insane. My my second to last semester, I was like working, I don't know, probably like 20 hours a week. Then I was also in like 4 classes. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Which you were probably doing. It was probably worse for you, but it's
What was I
insane.
doing?
It's crazy how difficult it can be.
It was even worse when I was in actual nursing school and still having to financially support myself.
Yep.
And just nursing school in general. I'm so glad I don't ever plan on stepping foot back on that campus, because this was a different school. It was a nightmare. But they also had some of the best NCLEX like, if you wanted to graduate and pass the NCLEX without even trying, you went to the school I went to.
Oh,
Gotcha.
I see.
Which I should probably find out what NCLEX stands for without just being like, the NCLEX, the exam you take when you graduate.
I'm gonna assume it's
National
just the
Council
nursing.
Licensure Examination.
Yeah.
Which is just a really fancy test that you have to take once you finish getting your degree, because getting your degree is not enough. You've got to prove it.
I mean, like, I know that probably sucks, but I think it makes sense.
It makes sense, but I've since met nurses that were like, yeah, no, I had to retake the NCLEX like 2-3 times. It's fine. Still got your RN in the end. It's like, yeah, I wish that were me. Wish I even got my freaking degree. But here we are, with trauma and no nursing degree to support myself. Oh well. That's why I can just be a funny hee hee ha ha nurse on the internet now. Someone else go so I don't feel as ashamed of myself.
Oh, I can.
You're good.
I did remember something that's happened recently. In EP server, Crimson has been playing Abstract, which has been very interesting because it's been almost 2 years.
We actually had gone the entire episode without mentioning Abstract.
We've had a couple episodes now. Okay? This isn't that bad. But this is gonna be a different conversation about Abstract than most, okay? Mainly it's been interesting because I haven't seen someone play Abstract in probably a year now. A bit more. And I'm just looking back and going, ooh, some of this capitalization and grammar is interesting.
I think you should complain to the writer about that.
I should write him a very passionate note.
Yep. Also, you, dear listener, should join my Discord. I'm gonna try to remind Wolf, Andy, to put a link to it in the description.
Try to. But yeah, Crimson's been playing it. He doesn't dislike it, but he definitely doesn't like it as much as other people do. At least from what I've heard. And has brought up a lot of worthy faults with the story that not many other people had previously. Mainly, like, why the hell do all of the Elite Four members just not have Pokemon with them when they're guarding a piece of the beacon?
Yeah, they're supposed to be
that's
these
a fair point.
big, powerful trainers, and they're just useless.
Yeah.
Especially, like, you could make the argument of, like, oh, the first one just didn't know. The first guy just thought, oh, I've been protecting this thing for a really long time. I'm not, like, no one's gonna come today and try and do something.
Yeah.
But then the second one should know.
But then the story wouldn't happen. What else did he bring up? There was another thing that I was like, yeah, I agree. Oh no, I mean, this wasn't a problem. It was more just very funny. He has had the most scuffed, like, playthrough where, like, every story event happens in a specific way where most of the time I wrote in, like, depending on, like, what things you do, different dialogue or stuff happens so that it makes sense if you do things in a certain order. I missed a couple instances, and he somehow hit every single instance that I missed into making the most scuffed playthrough you could have of the story.
Damn. And you got a spotlight for this game.
I did. Somehow.
Can't believe it.
I mean, but also, if I never made Abstract, or if, especially if EP never played Abstract, we would not be friends.
No.
So even though I may look at it a little critically now, I'm still glad that it exists.
Don't worry, me and Ethy met
As
over
you
False
should.
Order, so...
I genuinely forgot how we met.
Wait, what was False
do you,
Order again?
Do you remember False Order, Ethy?
I should.
It was my first ever fan game. He played my first ever fan game, which was so bad.
Oh, I found a YouTube video about it by the Gamers Tree.
Yeah, don't watch that. It literally has zero commentary at all.
Gotcha. Not gonna watch it then.
But yeah, I think you like messaged me on Discord and you were like, "This game's amazing." Like, I'm like, "Okay, thanks. It's not, but thanks."
Let's see screenshots.
But like, I definitely do like Berserk more than Abstract, at least story and writing wise, but I mean, that's just what happens with time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I found False Order. Oh, yeah, these are some screenshots.
Mmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think
No, to describe to
No,
the
you-
listeners, they are just very open.
Yes.
Very open maps.
you had a self-insert that was like talking down on himself.
Me?
And I was, yes, or someone did. I scrolled back through our conversation. I said, now let me tell you something here, mister. I'm playing your game right now on Twitch, and I just got to your self-insert, and let me tell you one thing. You are a talented person who worked really hard on Tiz. I forgot the H in this game. And so far, I have been enjoying myself. For a first time, I think you did pretty good from what I've seen so far. I don't remember False Order, but I'm gonna stick with whatever I said in 2018. I'll stand by that one. There's a lot of things I probably said that I shouldn't stand by, but I'll stand by that one.
Yeah, I don't remember. I wouldn't be able to tell you. That I made that game, what, 7 years ago? Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
I need to get a life.
I mean, hey, my first game was 5 years ago, almost. And I'm
Crazy.
still making them. Somehow.
I've been streaming since 2018.
God, I just wondered, like, what would happen if Evie had played my first game. He would not have been able to finish it. I don't know how you finished it, Cade.
Because of the bug that lets you finish the game.
Yeah, but how did you not just quit before then?
Have you
Like, how
seen
were you
me
able-
play video games? It should make total sense as to why I was the one person to finish the game. Anyways, I guess I can talk about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so last week, I was the reason. I'm also the reason why Tom's not here. I don't know why you guys didn't just record the podcast with Tom and axe me, but yeah, I was the reason we had to record the podcast early last week because I was on a trip from last Wednesday to this Tuesday. It was super fun. I can't really talk about it because that's just not something I'm going to talk about online, but it was super fun. I'm super sad that I'm back. And yeah, my life has kind of just been hell since I've been back. Work's been kind of hell because of this project that, mind you, my work was done a month before like we actually like finished it, like merged it in, but other people caused the delay. So I was basically like, yeah, like my whole plan, because I was like trying to plan like this trip, and I was like, okay, everything's gonna be done by the time I go on this trip. No, we literally merge the thing in the morning that I leave, and then it breaks a bunch of like tests, and I have people breathing down my neck because I didn't take PTO. I worked on the trip because I'm an idiot.
My God.
So that was great, and then I don't know, I just kind of had people yelling at me, and then I don't know, I need to like catch back up on life basically, because I like literally just decided to like do nothing for a week, go somewhere and do nothing for a week. other than work. And even then, I didn't actually really work that hard. So I'm just cleaning up this mess that I left for myself. But yeah, so that's also the reason why you guys were talking about the last time you streamed. The last time I streamed was February 8th, which is almost going on 2 weeks.
Wow.
And my next stream, I don't know, maybe Saturday. We'll see. Depends what's going on. But yeah, I'm just trying to get back into the swing of things. That's my life, I think. I'm not sure I have much more to say. Work, trip. Those are two separated, by the way. It was not a work trip. That would have been actually so fun. But yeah, like literally 0 video games, unless you count Stumble Guys.
I take it that's something different from Fall Guys.
Stumble Guys is basically Fall Guys, but for like iPhone.
Gotcha.
It is super fun.
Yeah, I've heard of it before.
Mm.
Like, I've only heard its name. I've never, like, heard anyone, like, really talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always, like, I've heard people say it, but I thought they were just talking about Fall Guys.
Yeah.
That's a fair assumption. I tried to look the last time Tom went live because I honestly don't remember and I can't see.
Probably because Twitch deletes VODs after 2 weeks, so it's definitely been 2 weeks for him.
Oh, easily.
When's
The last time I see a message from him in the streams chat is January 9th.
Oh, so that's
And
the
before
videos a
that
month
was
ago.
November. So yeah, January 9th was the last time he streamed. Which is also crazy.
Hold on, isn't there a thing where it just says, like, what, last seen?
I tried looking at that, but I couldn't find it. Basically, what I'm getting from this is we're in the declining era of EV Expo streams.
Nah, I just need to get back
EV
into the
Expo
swing of it.
streamers.
I just need to get back into the swing of it. It's literally just been like 2 weeks where I've been busy. Also,
No,
Thundaga
just-
has been streaming. Like, he's back
Oh, true.
for a stream or two. So, that's cool.
Oh, Kenny finished Pokemon HGSS Sevi Islands.
Yeah.
So I guess, Kenny, if you're still watching this right now, tell us in the comments what you thought of it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Now that I'm hopefully all of this means I'm back. Hopefully that means I can actually start playing that game instead of just the first
so good.
like I only made it to Mount Ember and then the stuff with Celebi, and that was it.
Yeah. I think
Somebody's got somebody laughing in the background.
Huh?
I heard laughter in someone's background.
Probably mine.
I think,
my
like-
dad's ought to call someone downstairs.
I can definitely make sure to like comment what you guys think your like Pokemon Day threads are. That would be interesting to see.
Yeah,
Definitely.
tell us how stupid and wrong we are in the comment section.
Talk about how much you hate Kalos. I love arguing with people in the comments section. It's my favorite pastime.
That's why I see you doing it all the time. And to the one person who threatened me if I wasn't taking care of myself after my surgery, I got you. We're good. I'm okay.
Alright, I think with that, unless anyone has anything else to talk about, we can call it an episode.
Alright.
Works for me.
Alright, well, thank you all for watching this episode. If you stayed this long, let us know in the comments what you think will happen with Pokemon Day. Honestly, I'm kind of hoping on a special EV Expo appearance in the presentation. That's my wild card assumption. You know, Kane's just been keeping quiet this whole time.
We'll see. You never know.
But yeah, with that, we'll see you all next week with actual Pokemon Day stuff. So see you then.
Take it easy.
Bye.